So we're creating an internet that senses, thinks, and acts. And this has some pretty profound implications to security. It's a combination of sort of different technologies. You could talk about mobile computing, cloud computing, persistent computing, machine learning, informational databases, Internet of Things, autonomy, AI. But the way to think of it as smart things that affect the world in a direct physical manner. And what this all means is that Internet security becomes everything security. You're starting to see this. Right? Our expertise is suddenly valuable in the auto industry. And not because they have a computer network, because cars are now computers. Our expertise is now valuable in the consumer products industry, is now valuable everywhere. And all the lessons of our world become applicable everywhere. Vulnerabilities in patching, security and complexity, attackers and their tactics. It's exploding. And the threats are changing. So traditionally in our world, we tend to be concerned about privacy, confidentiality. There's data, and we need to make sure it isn't stolen, it isn't misused. That tends to be the bulk of our job. But the threats come in many forms. You've all heard about the CIA triad: confidentiality, integrity, availability. Those are the three basic types of threats. When you start moving into computers that affect the world in a direct physical manner, the availability and integrity threats become much worse. Because there's real risks to life and property. I mean, sure, we can imagine a computer-connected car, and there's a privacy threat that someone could hack the car and learn the car's location from the GPS. Traditional threat. It's a much bigger threat that someone can hack the car and disable the brakes, which is an availability threat. Or, change the navigation system, a data integrity threat. You start moving into driverless cars, vehicle-to-vehicle communication, and these threats become much greater. In a lot of ways, I don't care what the cars are saying to each other, as long as I know that data is accurate and hasn't been hacked. And so the same things, the same vulnerabilities we worry about have very different consequences. Right? There's a fundamental difference between a hacker crashes your computer and you lose your data, and a hacker crashes your car and you lose your life. It could be the same CPU, the same operating system, the same software, the same vulnerability, the same exploit, the same attack software, but with wildly different consequences.